Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2014 NFL Draft Needs Analysis, and this video is for the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have several extra picks in this draft due to some trades they made, most notably the Trent Richardson trade to the Colts, in which they picked up an additional first rounder from Indianapolis. So I look at this as year two of the Banner, Lombardi, Rod Chazinski regime. And, as a big draft for them to build depth and to also fill some needs. And first and foremost, the biggest need they have is obviously at the quarterback position. That's no secret. The previous regime made a mistake with Brandon Weeden. He obviously hasn't panned out. Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, not long-term solutions. At the top of the first round here, I'd be very surprised if they passed up on whoever they thought was the best signal caller available in this draft. You have quarterback to me as the glaring number one need on this team, because there are parts at other positions on this team, most notably on the defensive side of the ball. But you see how bad quarterback play can really affect a team's win-loss record, even if you have talented players around that suspect quarterback. And I think we saw that in Houston. I think we saw that in 2012 with Kansas City. So I think the Browns can improve greatly on their win-loss record if they hit the right quarterback here early on in this draft. Other than quarterback, when they traded away Trent Richardson, I know that looks like a good trade now because Trent Richardson didn't really produce, but that left them with a really big hole at the running back position as well. They never really got a consistent runner going here in 2013. They tried to patch it up with Willis McGahee and Chris Ogbonnaya, among others, and it just didn't work. So to me, in this draft, they need to address that running back need as well. Do they do that, towards the end of the first round, where that Indianapolis pick will come into play? We'll see. But regardless of when they address the need, they need to get really a feature back in there in Cleveland to help whatever young quarterback should take the reins there. And the other two areas of need I see for the Browns is on the interior of the offensive line at the two guard positions. You have Alex Mack, who's a free agent at center, who I expect Cleveland to resign. And, of course, you have bookend left tackle Joe Thomas and Mitchell Schwartz at the right tackle. So I think they're good at the center position and the two tackles. Now, if they could acquire either in the draft or via free agency some guys to solidify those guard positions, then you throw in a couple new young running backs that like I mentioned, and I think you can have a ground game that will really help a young quarterback in their development. So the interior of the offensive line is somewhere where they can address. And also, I know I've gotten a lot of feedback from Browns fans asking if I think they're going to address the cornerback situation opposite Joe Hayden. And look, when they drafted Leon McFadden and Jordan Poyer like they did last year, I think they're going to see if either one of those two guys can pan out as a starter before they go dipping back into the draft again to draft a cornerback. So I think they'll hold off this year on the cornerbacks. But another area I think they may explore that may be a little bit of a surprise is at wide receiver. A wide receiver to go opposite, obviously, Josh Gordon. Greg Little, do they think Greg Little's a legit number two coming off of what has been a pretty disappointing season for him? We'll see. But I think that they wouldn't go wrong with some of the extra picks they have, taking some chances on some guys they think maybe can fill that second receiver spot opposite Josh Gordon, or maybe even a slot guy to replace the Devon Best, who, again, is going through some problems now on and off the field. So if you look at that, that's really how I break down the needs for the Browns. The two biggest needs at quarterback and at running back, with some big needs as well at the offensive guard positions. And then on the defensive side of the ball, look, they're pretty solid, and I think they're going to let these young DBs try to develop before dipping back into the draft pool again. And don't be surprised if they take a chance on a wide receiver to go opposite Josh Gordon. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm covering the draft wall to wall. I'm doing all these needs analysis videos, among others. I'll be covering the playoffs and the entire NFL offseason. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think about the Browns and their needs in the 2014 draft, and have a great night.